Hey there, and welcome to the Cinnamon Effect podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Hand, and I'm thrilled to have you with me on this vibrant journey of discovery and growth. This podcast is your go-to space for embracing intention, where you'll find clarity on your unique path, deepen those meaningful connections, and unleash your creativity like never before. We'll explore how to build unshakable confidence and celebrate the beauty of gratitude, all while savoring the calm that consistency brings to our lives. Thank you for being with me. Let's sprinkle a little cinnamon into your day and make life sweeter, healthier, and more fulfilling. Welcome back to the Cinnamon Effect. I'm Kimberly Hand. Today I'm here with Tawna and Joseph Chammas, founders of Gratitude Garden Farm. Did I butcher your last name?
Okay. Oh, it was perfect.
Perfect.
I'm going to mess this up. No. So excited to have you guys here today.
Thanks.
A couple weeks ago, I came out to your farm, not really knowing what to expect, to be honest. And it was such a beautiful experience. I brought my son out there. He's 9. You and him, Joseph, you and him, like fast friends, playing pickleball, doing the whole thing. I was just saying that you gave us some Jamaican strawberries.
Yes.
And we got to try all kinds of different fruit and everything while we were out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you showed us how to cut a mango.
Yes.
And you kind of just, cut it in half and then grid it on the skin. And then you push it out.
Yeah.
And my son has not stopped talking about that since.
He always tries to give it to me like that. And I'm like, give me a spoon.
Yeah.
Because I just get covered in
Well, it was like very juicy. But now I can't unlearn that technique.
No.
So now I have to do it every time, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to cut up mangoes, but I find that one on the fly to be easy. Just, you cut it in half, couple grids, pop it up, and you can just eat it as you go.
Yeah.
So you don't really need a spoon or anything. You just need a knife to eat it.
No,
a little
perfect.
messy.
some messier than
A
others.
little messy. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like
you have how many different varieties is it called a variety of mango?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a few different cultivars varieties. We've got probably, we have quite a few, but we've cut them down to fewer because mangoes don't necessarily grow very well in Loxahatchee because of the humidity levels. So what happens is when the mango trees flower, they flower really well, but the humidity levels make the flowers get fungus and then the flowers fall off. And if they don't get pollinated, then you don't get a lot of mangoes. So unfortunately, there are certain varieties that get flowers on the fungus a lot. The fungus on the flowers a lot. They're more susceptible to it than other varieties. So we've learned which ones do better in our area. So we have to kind of eliminate. So we went from
planted all
after we planted them.
Oh,
We found
learning curve, right? Yeah.
Yes. That's one thing Alex, the fruit tree expert, did not tell us. Yeah. So we had to learn. We're like, hey man, it was 5 years. I still didn't get a mango on this thing.
He told us about the carries, even though we planted half of our orchard.
No, he did.
Carries, because carries are my favorite. Top favorite mango. And I was like, plant me all carries. Why would we plant anything except carries? Are the best mango, in my opinion, in the world.
Wow.
Well,
Really good.
they don't grow well in
And actually, to his credit, he did say, do not plant all carries. I said, why? He's like, they might not do well here. And then you have a whole orchard of carries and you'll be in trouble. So he goes, give some. So we still planted a lot of carries, but we didn't do the whole orchard. So we only did maybe a quarter of the orchard carries, but still it's a large part of it because we had over 150 trees.
Wow.
100, I'd say about 100 mango trees when we first started. But then we started taking some of the ones that weren't performing out and then replacing them with avocado trees, sapodilla trees. Now we have mulberries, loquats. So we wanted more, over the years, we wanted more of a fruit forest rather than just a mango orchard. So we still have some great mangoes. We've got pickerings. This is the one I gave you guys.
What's it called? Pickering?
Pickering, yeah.
Pickering.
It's a good one. It's a good quality one.
So good.
Yeah, it does well. It does really well. It's like our fail-proof mango. It always produces every year and always heavy. Fairchild's another one that's really good. Lemon meringue and sweet tart can do okay. Florigan does okay.
They're phenomenal. They're like my top second.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good. Well, if you've had mangoes in Florida, they're not all created equal, and some of them have that gritty, stringy
fiber. So all of our varieties are fiberless. So very little to no fiber.
I would say Pickering probably has the most out of it.
Interesting. It was like it was like butter.
Yeah, I know, and that's the one with the most in along our variety.
We don't have pretty much all varieties have no fiber, and they're designed that way.
Wow.
So because nobody likes the fiber, they get stuck in your teeth.
After
it's messy.
Yeah,
annoying.
I don't like pulp in my orange juice, so no, I'm a no fiber girl. I think. Now, okay, so you guys started an organic farm on 5 acres in Loxahatchee. And you just showed me the video, which was 10 years ago.
Correct.
So how did this whole dream come about? I know there's a big story attached to that, so you can take that in any way you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the story goes along with it. So.
Yeah. So in 2008, I was diagnosed with a terminal cancer, like a stage 4 colon liver cancer. And, my whole family are medical doctors. So like, you need to go in right away, like straight into treatment. So I didn't really have chance to like even think for a second. I just had to go straight into treatment. And, treatment was aggressive because I was only like 32 years old when I got diagnosed. So they were like, okay, you're young. So we're going to throw the book at you. We're going to really aggressively go after it.
They literally said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they, so long story short, I won't get into the details, but long story short, we basically went through a year of pretty aggressive treatment. I had a ileostomy bag on my stomach. I had a port in my chest. We were getting dosed with chemo every other week, heavy doses, very high doses, surgeries, infections. I mean, we were dodging bullets left, right, and center. So it got to the point where I was in the emergency room one night. I was by myself. It was like 3 a.m. I had a tube in my throat. I'm sitting there. I'm looking at this clock, and I'm just like,
a twisted intestine.
Yeah, I was in the emergency room, and then we didn't know if I was going to get out or not. And then I made myself a promise that night, that like a prayer, that basically, if I made it out of that hospital, I would never come back. I said, if you just let me out this one time, just let me dodge one more bullet. And I'll never come back here again. I'll be done. I'll stop doing all this treatment, and I'll find another way. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll find another way. And my wife and I sat down, we discussed it, and we're like, yeah, this is it. We're going to stop. There's no point keep going down this road. I'm not going to dodge the next bullet. Bullet's going to get us.
Yeah, there was no doubt that he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, I was literally like just bones, like skinny. I was like,
his mouth was
gray. I couldn't walk. It was bad.
Wow.
And anyone that's been through aggressive chemo will attest to you. It's like, even you wouldn't put your worst enemy through something like that. It's horrible. So after that, we went home. We told the doctors, hey, take this thing out of my chest, take my bag off my stomach. I'm done. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. They did another PET scan. It lit up everywhere. Bing, 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 bing. The whole PET scan lit up everywhere. So I said, listen, we've been doing this for a year. It's still lighting up. Wow. Like, what am I doing here? And, so there was a little bit of mixed reviews in regards to, it could have just been scar tissue, but irrelevant. We had already made up our mind that we were going to leave this protocol and then figure out something else. So my mom, who is a yogi, ironically enough, and my dad was a surgeon, plastic surgeon, so they're not together, clearly.
Different world.
Yeah, different world. They're clearly not together.
Since he was young, like a baby.
Yeah. So they're from 2 different worlds. So my mom promised me, she goes, listen, you promised me when you're done with all this, promise me you're going to do detoxification. You're going to detox and get all that poison out of you. I said, okay, Mom, I promise. So after I left the hospital, I started looking for places to detox, and I found a place in West Palm called Hippocrates Health Institute, which is a raw food detox center. So I went there to detox, and I went for the 3-week protocol, and I met a bunch of people who were healing themselves of aggressive stage 4 cancers. So I was like, what are you guys doing in this detox center? And they're like, no, this is how we're healing ourselves. It's like through eating raw vegetables and juices. And they're like,
and wheatgrass microgreens and sprouts.
And they said, yeah, I mean, that's part of it. And I was like, okay. So I started learning and absorbing all the information. And, after 2 weeks of being there, everything just went click. And I understood why we were doing that. You have to understand why you're doing it.
Yeah, I think you understood before 2 weeks because you called me at like 4 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he goes, because I was getting ready to go there to visit him, and because I still had to work and everything like that. And so he was staying there and I was getting ready to go for the weekend. And he said, I just want you to know things are getting ready to change. I was like, what? Oh, you're mean.
She was already plant-based.
I was already plant-based.
So I was not. I was.
I had already started I had already started making raw foods and juicing. I had already bought a juicer and I was doing lots of juicing, and I just started really getting into raw food.
Okay.
And I remember spending, what was it? Like an hour and a half plus cutting up vegetables. And I had made this like raw gourmet meal for Joseph, and it was not gourmet at all. After him going to raw culinary school, I realized it wasn't gourmet. It was basically seasoned raw vegetables. And I served it to him like this. I'm like, here. And he ate it, but he goes, I just want you to know that that I will never be raw vegan. If you think for a second I'm going to eat this every day, you're crazy.
Oh.
Before I got sick.
This was way before.
Oh,
this was probably 2 years prior to him getting sick.
Wow.
I thought, okay, let me not push this.
It's true. I would have never been more.
She would never into it, but she was already into it.
I was already into it.
But she was always into stuff like that.
I was always dabbling
doing
into
different
something,
like me,
making natural products. He would come home from a business trip and the microwave would be gone. He would go to reheat his food. He's like, where's the microwave? I'm like, we don't use microwaves anymore. We don't use this. The toothpaste changed. Everything was changing little by little. Soaps, cleaning supplies, everything had already changed.
And this was
that point.
This was 10 years ago.
No way.
Before.
I was in my 20s, and this must have been when I was probably 25.
This was way past 10 years ago. This is 15 years ago was when I got sick. So this is before I got sick.
This is probably 20 years ago.
Yeah. So you were really on the forefront of making all those changes.
Yeah.
Catching up now.
We were way ahead of everyone else because of what happened. Right. Mostly because it forced us to learn. And that's something that kind of, then you start sticking your head in rabbit holes and start going deep. Yeah. Like, are they trying to kill us?
I mean, what is happening? For me, there was a beauty aspect of raw foods that sucked me in first, because when there is no illness, you don't think about illness. Before it's something to think about, you don't think about it. It never entered my mind that something like this was going to happen, that changed the trajectory of our lives. But it was.
Wow. So you go, so she's already kind of on this bandwagon, or she's on this lifestyle. Okay.
She was more she was starting to get into raw foods, but I was not getting into it for any other reason, but for health reasons. Whereas hers was a little bit combination.
Mine was like
more animals, purity, like that. So for me, like, French fries are vegan. Doesn't mean it's good for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and that's true.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
Oreos are vegan too. And
I think so. Yeah.
So it's not just because you eat vegan, it doesn't mean you're healthy.
Yeah.
So.
And I was vegan for about 8 years as well. Been to Hippocrates, took some classes there,
Sure.
So that's important to mention. You can be vegan and not be healthy.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. So that my entire reason, because there's no way I'm giving up my steaks and my, if, I did it because I understood, I learned why I possibly got the cancer. And I understood it was a combination between stress, emotion, and the food I was eating. It's a combination of a couple different things. And I realized that, the red meats, the red meat's not eliminating properly, not detoxing properly. Your lymphatic system's backed up. You're not eliminating the cellular waste in your body. There's, nobody's ever fasting. Fasting's in every single religion on the planet, and no one ever does it. Why? And then we wonder why we're getting sick at rates. Why a 32-year-old is getting stage 4 colon cancer. Like, that shouldn't happen. That's just that's not normal. And now it's becoming more and more common.
Yeah.
And you grew up in London.
Yeah.
So we should mention it's maybe like, was it like it is in the States where there is McDonald's with fast food? Like
It's different though.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, a lot of the food here there's a lot of stuff on it that's not allowed in different parts of the world. So, you know, things that we do to our meats and to our veggies is forbidden in other parts of the, not that England has good food, because it does not.
Yes, but you ate at your mom's place growing up, and his mom cooked
my mom was
food.
cooked very healthy
Yeah,
food.
very delicious.
I was not allowed
food.
McDonald's. There was no soda allowed in my house when I was growing up.
Wow.
So I never, you know, I had McDonald's like on my birthday, like as a gift.
But when we met, you were drinking soda. Was it? You
Well,
were
I broke out of Shawshank. I was free. I was like, McDonald's.
Never been attracted to soda. I thought it tasted weird. It didn't resemble anything. So he would drink soda, and I'm like, what? It just tastes like brown. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't taste like any
brown.
Yeah, it just doesn't taste like anything familiar. So I was never really into soda. But
I was never a big soda person either. And my mom was very, very strict because honestly, I think soda was expensive to buy. Yeah. Really, that was probably the motivation. But I really feel thankful that we never had soda in my house. Yeah. That was one thing that I just really carried on with that my whole life and never been a soda drinker.
Well, I never really drank soda for very long. It was just a small period. Yeah. And then, you know, obviously, because I never drank it when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to college, I had, you know, a couple of years where I would drink it. Then I drank it for like 2-3 years. And then
with alcohol?
Oh, you love those Bacardi, what was it, Bacardi Cokes? Yeah, that was drink Bacardi Coke. You love that.
Yeah.
If you're in your 40s, that was like, you know, we would drink Captain Morgan and Coke.
Oh, Captain Morgan and Coke.
Oh my God, terrible. Yeah.
So, so going off on that tangent. Yeah. So basically, I think your initial question was why we started a farm and off the like 20-minute tangent.
We're going to get to that, but this is all important leading up to it. Yeah.
Sure. So basically so after a couple years of when I went to Hippocrates, I started implementing, I started making raised garden beds in the backyard, and I started growing our own food. And then I turned one of our bedrooms into a sprout growing room where we grew sunflower, pea shoots, wheatgrass, broccoli micros, radish micros, those kind of things. So microgreens. Mm-hmm. And those were in our juices every day. We would make green juices, and half of our green juice would be microgreens. We'd also have salads heavy with sprouts. Everything that we ate was from the farm or from our room where we grew the micros. So that was predominantly how I started practicing and learning how to grow food. So I started off a couple of years growing in the backyard. Then before you know it, the front yard, the side of the house, the back of the yard was full of raised bed. And neighbors used to come by, and Tawna used to be like, why do you have 20 people rolling?
Yeah. I like my privacy. So I would, my home is my sanctuary. Yeah. And we had a wall around our property, around our backyard and everything. And I would be sitting there at the back, just on my computer. And he's walking down with like 20 people giving him a tour of our yard.
Well, I can see that because I got a tour.
What is he doing? He's been doing that for 15 plus years, giving tours. Yeah. He loves it.
So you started kind of teaching other people to do it.
I mean, it started neighbors going, hey, can I trade you some stuff for your delicious tomatoes or for your vegetables or your cucumbers? So people were coming and they wanted to barter with us, like, hey, I'll give you some of this. So they really liked what we were doing. And it just kind of like clicked, and I really enjoyed it. And it was very grounding. And I wasn't, at that time, I wasn't really leaving the house much because I was trying to heal. Mm-hmm. So,
there was a huge shift in just lifestyle.
Yeah.
There was a huge shift. So we were at home.
There's a lot to like wrap your head around. Yeah. Also change the way you're eating and all of that. It's a big learning curve. I remember when I went vegan too, it was like, what am I going to eat? Because
can't go out anywhere.
Yeah,
there's no places.
At that time, there was really no place.
You can only eat Christopher's Kitchen so much.
Right.
I think there wasn't even Christopher's Kitchen then. It was Darbster.
Oh, yeah, Darbster.
Darbster, and there was Sublime in Fort Lauderdale.
There was Christopher's Kitchen around that time. It was.
Was it?
Yeah, because we had just it had just opened.
Oh, they just, and that was when they were raw.
That's when
completely.
That's when Christopher was actually running
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
That's back in the day.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been 15 years.
I felt like I was one of the
16.
first, people to eat there too.
Yeah. We ate there the first night it opened or the first weekend it opened.
Yeah, we heard they were opening a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So a lot has shifted in that time, which is exciting and fun and probably makes what you do easier to a certain extent, like that people are more on the wavelength of, I want fresh, organic, grown food. I know where it comes from.
Yeah. I think now it's definitely getting more popular and people are understanding why it's so important to eat, like not local per se, but organic from people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very popular saying. It says, you pay your farmer now or you pay your doctor later. As simple as that. You either eat well now, take care of yourself now, or you're going to pay for it with open heart surgeries, stuff like that. People, eating plant-based, it's so like extreme. I'm just like, well, what about cutting yourself like a fish from top to bottom and putting stents in your heart? I find that a little bit extreme.
That's pretty extreme. Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
So if I have a little salad, it's like, it's not. But, I get it. I mean, where do you get your protein from? Like, where does a 400-pound silverback gorilla get his protein from? You know what I mean? It doesn't have any problem. So some of the biggest animals on the planet are plant-based. I'm not saying, everyone needs to be plant-based. I know I wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
If what had happened to me didn't happen to me, I would still be eating steak right now.
Oh, for sure. He would.
I mean, it just is what it is. But, it's just, I'm just being 100% honest, transparent. I'm not the person I'm not that vegan that's on the top screaming like, oh, yeah. Like I was for a little bit and I realized that doesn't work.
That was when you were on the Hippocrates lifestyle. He was like, whoa, tint.
No friends.
And I said, be careful.
No friends whatsoever.
I said, Joseph, just lead by example. You don't need to say anything. I've already been down that road and, he was pretty sick of me. So,
he
loved me.
Yeah. You already knew. And I experienced a little of that too, where people are like, you want to tell them because you feel so passionate about it.
But then they feel like you're lecturing them. You're like
or judging
better than them. And you're trying to so people can get sensitive and people aren't, like they're not in that. They don't necessarily have to go down that path. That's a path that we found that seemed to work and it worked for me. Now it didn't I've sent people there that have died to I've sent many people to Hippocrates that have not made it. So, it's not a matter of, it's going to work for every single person. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and that's something I learned over years is that I can't fight other people's battles.
That's right.
It's not me going in there fighting their battle. If it was me, it's different because I'm in control. I know what I can do here. I know how structured and disciplined I can be when I want to be.
And the emotional work that's involved in it. And not everyone is ready to pull up that emotional.
And my mom was one of those. My mom passed from the same cancer that I had. Just after me.
Yeah.
So just like a couple of years ago, 2022, she passed away.
And how much do you feel that was emotional for you? Emotional and stress versus.
It was emotional for her.
Yeah.
Her cancer was 100% emotional.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And she knew it.
She knew it.
We both knew it.
Yeah. Because she's eating Ayurvedic and probably.
Yeah. It's not her external. It was her internal. It was I don't want to get too much into that, but it was when you get dealt with a lot of stress and your body goes into fight or flight, if you don't come out of that fight or flight, you can get degenerative disease. And that's what happened to my mom. She was in a position where she felt trapped in her own life. And then you go, oh, give me a way out. And then the body gives you a way out. It might not be what you want, but it's your way out.
And then you always talk about the carrot, like the importance of a carrot,
Yeah. So, And so basically if you have, I always use the analogy of a carrot is if you have cancer and your carrot is rotten. And what that means is your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, the reason why you're here in life is your carrot. If your carrot is tainted, if your life sucks the way it is right now, and then bam, you get slapped with a stage 4 cancer and 6 months to live, and you got a crappy carrot, and now you have to climb this huge mountain, and what's waiting for you at the top of that mountain? Your crappy little carrot, right? The one that got you sick in the first place. So you have to switch your carrot. So you have to change your life to something that, to a carrot that you want, or to something that moves the whole reason why you want to be on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the biggest thing for a lot of people that get cancers, is something's happened in their life and they feel like it's over. They've lost a bad marriage. They lost a loved one. They feel so much guilt, resentment, anger, whatever it may be. It stops them from creating the life that they want, and it puts them in the fight or flight.
Yeah.
So that's what I found was with my mom. And I told her, I was like, listen, this is what it is. I know what it is. And you know too, because she went through everything with me and Tawna. So she was there the whole step of the way. So she understood the emotional aspect, and she knows also. She's very well trained in that. But when it's you, it's a different story. And she was in a tough situation, and she did not work on the emotional part like she should have, but it's not my battle to fight. It's her battle. And that was the hardest lesson for me, is watching your loved ones go down and knowing that they're not going to make it, and there's nothing you can do. It's painful.
That's painful.
And all you can do is just sit there and love.
Yeah.
And that's what I found out with my father. And that was a lesson that I learned when my father passed. I said, this isn't my journey. I can't control this situation. I can't control what happens to my family. I can't control what they eat. I can't control their thoughts. I can't control their emotions. I can't control anything. I have zero control of anyone except myself.
That's right.
And letting go of that control is a huge lesson in knowing that all you can do for your loved ones is just support them and love them. And that's it.
That's
all you can do, and let them make their own decision.
The worst thing you can do is fight with them.
Yeah.
Right before they pass away.
Yeah.
Oh, you eat this, I was like that with my mom, and to the point when then she kind of like stopped me, and I could see like, okay, if I keep pushing her, she's just going to get resentful and angry with me. And then, if she passed, I don't want to.
Where does that leave you? You know?
I mean, I'm there to help support her, not stress her out.
Yeah.
The problem is by me going, oh, we need to do this, I'm just stressing her out.
Yeah.
And she had already picked a place that she wanted to go in Mexico, which I wasn't crazy about. It was like Hope for Cancer. It was in Tijuana. It was in Cancun, Mexico.
Okay.
I wasn't too sold on the whole concept. I get what they were doing, and some of it makes sense. But other of it's kind of
they did mention the emotional part, but she chose not to work on that part. They actually did, because I remember us being in Cancun with her and discussing the emotional, and she would just put up a wall. It was really interesting because it's where you and your mom are so similar. The more someone pushes, the more you push back. And no one can make Lulu do anything that Lulu doesn't want to do.
Yeah, my mom was
strongly was such an amazing, like, just whenever I think of her, I think of sunshine and just life, and she was very, very strong, and would, if she wanted to do something, she'll do it. If she doesn't want to do it, she won't do it.
Wow.
And she doesn't do well with people trying to push her into things.
No,
very similar.
Yeah.
You're like, just so you know, that's you.
Very similar like that.
But it's an important thing to mention, because people get so caught up on, well, what is your diet and what are you eating? But so much of it can be those internal things and those emotions. And I always think, like, you just can't hang on to those.
I think the majority.
Yeah.
I mean, my one, I went to Hippocrates. There was a psychotherapist, and part of your experience there is they make you see one of the psychotherapists on staff. It's either Anthony or Andy. I went to Anthony, and he was great. I mean, he was able to like pinpoint my trauma, just release it, and it was really amazing, like how quickly. And I always thought it was like just the raw foods, and I didn't realize it was like, wait a minute, what about that one session I had with Andy when Anthony, when I just burst out bawling and just releasing all this trapped trauma that I didn't realize I even had. And it just came out, and And all my tests after that point were negative.
That's so wild.
But I was like, oh, the raw foods is working. But then I sent other people that had cancer and they weren't making it. So it was just like, what the hell? So it was I started doing a lot of research on emotions and, how they can put you in fight or flight, and how, no matter what you do, if you're in fight or flight, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not getting out of it unless you eliminate the fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most important part. And then you have to figure out what it is. So, there was a book called The Healing Codes by Dr. Alex Lloyd that taught you about how to do some energy healing on yourself to remove blockages, emotional blockages that are stuck in your brain, pinpointing them and releasing them from a cellular level. And we worked on that a lot. Both me and Tawna worked on that a lot. And
it's basically a trigger. So if you're a triggered person, you have a lot of emotional blockages in your body. The more triggers you have, I always use the husband taking the trash out, kind of thing where, you spend all day working, you're exhausted, you ask your husband to take out the trash, he doesn't take out the trash, and you just freak out.
Yeah, you trip.
Yeah, and you're like, what? But if you think about it, it's just the trash. What's the big deal? It's because it made you feel unappreciated, unloved, uncared for, things like that.
Stories.
It's a story.
So we've created stories throughout our life. Everyone has. And usually they're created by a 3-year-old little boy or girl,
right.
or 4-year-old little boy or girl. When you were little, you create a story like, oh, they yelled at me, so I must be dumb. And then you think you're dumb your whole life, so like things that have happened when you were little. So the Healing Codes teaches you how to go back to that time. Remember the first time you felt that emotion, and then you do a technique, and it releases the emotion attached to that incident from an early age to your current. So you think of the first time you felt it to your current state of feeling it. And then it releases it all the way through that from a cellular level. It's really
it is powerful. Very, very powerful.
It really works.
It
work. Some things are like, a little bit foofy. You're like, I don't know if this really makes sense, because we've been through a lot of stuff in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Some foofy but work, some foofy that don't work, some not so foofy, but so it's just across the spectrum. So we've seen all kinds of different things that are supposed to do different things, and we've done a lot of them. So we know kind of what work and what, is maybe just placebo effect, So if you believe in something hard enough, maybe it does help you, but does it really help everyone? Maybe not. So it depends on what you're looking at. And there's, more and more things are being studied now, but back in our day when we were going through all this, there wasn't that much, studies on any of this stuff. So we just, new stuff would come out, like, oh, let's try it.
Yeah, we tried everything. We tried it.
So we don't know.
Came out.
So if you ask me, well, what do you think it was? I'd be like, I don't know. Because I did
so many.
We did 80 different, apricot kernels. I did oxygen therapy. Yeah, because apricot kernels, I don't know if the seed in the apricot has something called has a little bitter seed inside this. Have you ever eaten an apricot and it has that hard seed?
Yeah.
Tastes like an almond, but a horribly bitter one.
Yeah, but you have to but that seed, if you break that seed, inside the seed is a little tiny almond. And that almond is super bitter. So it's an apricot almond inside the seed. That's full of laetrile B17. So I was popping 2, 3, 4 of those a day. Eating those every single day. I was doing oxygen therapy. I was doing infrared saunas. I was doing my wheatgrass shots, green juices, rebounding.
Yeah.
I mean, flooding the body with chlorophyll, drinking 9.0 pH water, ionized water. I was working on emotions. I was doing exercise every day, weight resistance. I was eating salads. Massive bowls of salads, like enough to serve a banquet and that was just my bowl. My jaw was tired all the time
with
from
sprouts.
chewing. Sprouts.
Sprout.
Yeah, a lot. Half of it is sprouts. Yeah. So moving off the long tangent again. So that's basically, we haven't even got to the farm yet.
I do feel like healing though is like that.
It
you
is.
Throw everything at it and then it's almost impossible to tell, well, what was the one thing?
Yeah.
I think it's a culmination of where your intuition leads you to
do. It might
all
be,
of that.
or it might be the one thing. We don't know.
Right.
That's the thing that drives me nuts. Like,
or it could just
what
be
if
the
it was
mind.
just this one pill that I ate that just killed everything, you know? And I could still be eating my steaks right now, you know? So I don't know that. So I'm not willing to play Russian roulette at this point.
Okay, so you turned your house into you had
basically
garden
a healing center.
So this was in Deerfield Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, in Deerfield.
And then I was like, you know, me and Tawna, because now I'm you know, starting to get clean results. I'm like, okay, maybe we dodged some bullets. It's only been a year or 2 years, but you know, let's play it safe. You know, but right now we're good. Which this doctor was a little shocked because he wasn't expecting us to come out of it. So around 2013, it'd been like 3 years already, 3 or 4 years, and we're discussing, okay, like, what do we want to do? And I felt like I had been like held back for so long, for like 3 years, because I was just like kind of I was just working on trying to heal myself. So I couldn't really do anything.
Looking to sink his teeth into
I wanted
project.
A big project. And, you know, so
oh boy,
so
did you figure one out?
So I had some stocks I was given from family, and I liquidated those to buy.
You were all in finance, right? You were. Your family was doctors, but you were personally in finance.
I was working. I had done my MBA. And I was working for a private equity firm, and I was traveling a lot to different parts of the world, and I was buying real estate projects for our investors. And I would buy them at huge discounts and stuff like that. So, but I didn't like that job. And then developers were sneaky. They would always steal escrow deposits, and it would stress me out. And that's, you know, I got stage 4 cancer working on one of those deals where actually developers stole $4 million from our escrow account. And I was like super stressed because it's all our investors' money and stuff like that. And that's when I got sick. So, I'm not saying that was the exact reason, but it was definitely part of it. It didn't help, you know.
Yeah, the stress.
Yeah, the stress, and then doing a job that I wasn't passionate about at all because I just hated it. I was away from my wife all the time. I'm traveling all over. I'm eating garbage.
Yeah, for like a month.
I'm living out of a suitcase. I'm in Morocco. I'm in Dubai. I'm in Switzerland. I'm all over the world.
And then every time he came back, the house looked completely different.
Yeah.
He would leave, don't leave me alone.
Tawna's like, let me decorate.
It comes back, it's a new color. Everything looks different. So terrifying.
So it got to a point where, you know, Tawna's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, honestly, this sounds stupid, but I want to open up a farm. I want to be an organic farmer. Okay. And she's like, oh, okay.
It was a shock when he said that.
You were into it.
Was I into it? No.
Oh, okay.
No, not really. I was into eating it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be a farmer, but
I didn't want to be a farmer. No, I didn't.
She was okay with me wanting.
But I was, I was very interested in his dreams and visions. So absolutely, like that aspect, I wanted to support him in whatever he felt called to do because I believe in his dreams and his callings. And, so for me, do I want to sit there and farm? No, but I love being in nature. There's nothing more I love than being in nature. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so that's when we started looking. Yeah. I was very surprised. You know, he had never really lived out in the country, but I had.
Oh, interesting. You're like,
so for him to, but I prefer that.
I've always been a country boy.
He's always been a country boy, but yeah, for me, I absolutely, let's go out there. I would love to be out of town because we never really lived in the city together. I've never lived in a city before, but yes, let's move. Let's move out of town.
So you find the property.
I found a 5-acre parcel in Loxahatchee. It was a short sale. Got it for a really good price. And we went to look at it. It was trashed. It was just like, there was nothing on it. It was just a bunch of, you know,
tractor parts and
like old tractor tires and you know, there was just like junk trees
and
everywhere. And it was just something
a cleanup.
Oh yeah. A lot of cleanup, a lot of clearing, which was super expensive. Like I didn't realize like what it would take to like clear these trees. And, you know, there's a lot of junk trees and hollies and all these like invasive trees that needed to be ripped out. And that costs a lot of money, you know, because you need like machines out there to rip it all out and then chip it and all that stuff. So it was a learning curve. So I went out there with chainsaws and shovels and tried to do everything myself. And I was just like, this isn't going to work.
This isn't gonna happen.
And then I've got a funny video of me like on a push mower trying to mow our fruit orchard.
5 acres.
And like, you know, you'd see like neighbors drive by and go, look at
Like,
this
this
crazy,
guy, nuts.
this crazy gringo over here. And then, you know, so I learned, and I started, you know, Tawna was working in Boca at the time, and salon, and I was going every day, driving from Deerfield to Loxahatchee, and I would sit there, spend all day working on creating where we're going to plant the orchard, you know, finding an employee to help me and all this stuff. So it, you know, the first year or so was basically going back and forth. Then we got finally in 2000. So we bought this in 2013, 2014, we started working on it. 2015 is when we actually bought our little tiny home, and then we plopped it on there. And then me and Tawna moved over and started living in the tiny house.
It was like a tiny house, like an actual tiny
house. It was literally like
a
okay.
It was on wheels.
300 square foot cabin.
It's like it's basically a tiny home.
Okay.
It's a tiny home, but it's a little bit bigger than the tiny homes. It's about 350 square feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we lived in it
small.
for 9 years.
Wow.
I think, what did we originally say, 6 months?
Oh my gosh.
We'll build a house and we'll just live here for, 6 months.
We built the house.
Build the house.
9 years in a tiny house. What did you learn about each other? And also, did you just have, I mean, you have to be so minimal, I would imagine.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to go first things first, you have to love each other.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love each other and you live in the house, you're not lasting a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you've ever been camping with someone. It's kind of like that
as well.
Yeah.
Which we do also. So if you can live in a little tent with somebody for a couple of weeks, let's say camping, 9 years in a so called tiny house.
Where you bump into each other every time you walk by.
Yeah.
Very tight.
Yeah.
But it was okay it's nice and it's romantic for the first year or so. But then after that, it's just like, it's not super romantic anymore. Because everything's so tight. You got toilets right there, the bedrooms right there. It's
there's
like there's no privacy. But the beautiful thing is, whenever you feel a little claustrophobic, just open the door, walk outside. You don't fight it.
Yeah, you're fighting.
Yeah.
So it's not like you open the door, walk outside, and you got neighbors there. No, you don't see anybody. It's your nature. It's really nice, and it was just it was a cool way. You know, it wasn't an easy life, but it was a rewarding life to be able to wake up every day and create and see your progression year after year after year after year, see what you progress. And then people that know you, that come and visit you, they come visit you 2 years later, oh my God. And they come another 2 years like, oh my God, it's different again. Yeah. Now, like when they come now, they're just completely blown away because we really went like hardcore the last 2-3 years of change. It was a slow change until, around 2021, 2022. And then it just exploded. Yeah.
That's amazing because I've seen it obviously in this phase that it is right now. Yeah. And you have domes out there. I mean, they're full on retreats can be held there. You have a beautiful dome where you can have yoga classes. I mean, it's really, really amazing what you guys have accomplished out there. So in the beginning, how do you find an expert? Do you find an expert or are you kind of self-teaching? You're self-teaching yourself, trying to figure it out.
So, okay, this is going to sound weird, but, we don't drink fluoride. So fluoride it calcifies your pineal gland and it stops you from creating.
And we haven't had fluoride because we had no toothpaste or anything.
Yeah, we don't do toothpaste. All our water is reverse osmosis. It's filtered. We don't have any fluoride in our water. So it basically decalcifies our pineal gland and we're able to create. And when you're able to create and visualize what you want, it comes to fruition. A lot easier than someone that has a calcified pineal gland. That's maybe going down the rabbit hole a little bit, but
love the rabbit hole. I get you the rabbit hole.
We're not gonna go.
Yeah.
We're not gonna push people down the rabbit hole. I'm just saying, if you poke your head through, just look a little,
go in that rabbit hole.
You might see correlation of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what it is.
I hear you.
It's just a hypothesis of that. So we dream a lot. We talk a lot. We talk about how cool would it be if we had this. We wanted to do all this in Costa Rica, but we had family here. Tawna had family here at the time. And they, we didn't want to be away from all our friends and family in the middle of Costa Rica. So we said, okay, we'll just do it here and we'll just create a little Costa Rica here. And that's kind of what we do. If you notice that back side, that back 2.5 acres over there is kind of feels that if you walk in there, you could be in Costa Rica and have no clue. You know what I mean? So that's what we wanted to kind of create. And then obviously we have the rest of our farm that has all our veggie production, everything like that. But, so our...
And you have these really amazing, the coolers with all the mushrooms.
Yeah. So we grow, when we started our farm, it was a straight up certified organic, 5-acre farm where we focused on turmeric, veggies and mushrooms. Mushrooms are very challenging. That's why we got into them, is because we wanted something that with barrier entries were high. The knowledge was high. It was a very skilled agricultural product to grow. Not like every farmer goes, I want to grow mushrooms. Good luck. Growing mushrooms. Very difficult. Now we actually teach farms how to grow mushrooms.
Wow.
So we have a block manufacturing facility where we make 10-pound mushroom blocks that are colonized. So, and then we teach the farmers how to turn a shipping container into a grow room, and then we sell them the blocks. And then they call me, and if you look at my phone, I can show you every day I'm getting texts like, hey, what do I do here? Like, well, why does this thing have a brown spot on it? I'm like, throw that block out of the room. It's contaminated, or do this or do that, or move it here or cut, so I'm constantly coaching other farms that buy our blocks.
You're a mushroom expert.
I would think so at this point.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I mean, we've been doing it for 10 years. So basically when you said, no one really taught us how to do any of this stuff. There was no blueprint to what we were doing. We were trailblazing. And whenever you trailblaze, you get arrows in the back. Because you're the first ones going down the path. So it's been like that with pretty much day one from that farm. No one was growing mushrooms in shipping containers in South Florida.
Wow.
How do you grow mushrooms in a climate where it's 100 degrees outside, and inside the room, the mushrooms are 60 degrees or 55 degrees, and they need to breathe air like we do. So they need air from outside. Well, how do you bring 100-degree air from outside into a 55-degree room, without shocking the mushrooms, killing them? So we had to figure that out. So we separated the rooms into 2 separate rooms. One was a grow room. The other one was an anteroom, which we cooled with air conditioning. So whenever the mushrooms needed to breathe, when the fan would kick in and we had to do an air exchange, it would suck it from the small room rather than from outside. And the small room's already been cooled with another AC.
Wow.
So we precondition the air of another room to suck that cold air into the mushroom room so it doesn't shock the mushrooms. No one was doing that because no one could grow mushrooms in Florida. If you looked, there was 0 mushroom farms in Florida. Why? Because they couldn't figure it out. We figured it out. And we figured it out on a low-cost method, which was in shipping containers. So we didn't spend $2 million building a mushroom farm. We did it, for 30, 40 grand, basically with shipping containers. Wow. And we actually can grow production out of, and it's perfect for farms because farms, they don't have, 8,000 square foot buildings. So we had to create our own grow rooms.
And most farms don't have millions of dollars to grow mushrooms.
They don't. So we're teaching them how to get into the space, and we're partnering with them.
Wow.
Because we know how hard it is to make blocks. So they're not going to be able to make the blocks.
And starting out a mushroom business?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
So challenging.
Very challenging. Wow. So we have a partner called Claudio, and he's an amazing, he's like an engineer brain. And he's more like left-sided, and we're more right-sided.
Yeah.
So both of us, which creates a little issue, we need some more.
It's good to find a partner that has the strengths where your weaknesses are, and vice versa. Our strengths are his weaknesses.
Wow.
He's not good with people or with getting locations and
or seeing necessarily like a bigger picture, but he's just so
He's
so
good
valuable.
at figuring out how to fix things and how to create things.
And lower cost. Which is something we really needed help with.
We're terrible.
Yeah.
We're not good at penny pinching.
Yeah. Well, when it's so unknown too, that's very difficult to create a budget and know what you're going to have to spend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how have you been able to scale? I mean, did you start, you didn't plant all 5 acres originally, or did you go full guerrilla?
Well, we did, in a way. I mean, we were growing. So we were just straight up farmers. We weren't doing any retreats, retreat stuff or anything like that. So we're just being hardcore farmers.
And it was just me, you, and Caesar.
We had, me and Tawna and one other person at the beginning. And then we started getting more employees. We started getting farmers market people that would come volunteer, younger kids that were like, hey, I want to learn. And I would come and teach them. And then they would be like, oh, I really love this. And then we would be like, okay, come do a market with us. And then we would have, we've had, a couple of our boys that have been with us for like 8, 9 years.
Wow.
When they were little, they were like 19-year-olds.
Yeah, 19-year-olds.
They came to volunteer. And
friends.
now we went to their wedding.
Friends are not really.
Yeah, now they're friends.
What a special community, and like you're building a family together.
Yeah.
And you're all pouring that love in.
Well, they really felt like family because we were so new and we were doing all these farmers markets, and these kids were the ones that were doing our markets with us. And, but I could only be at one market at a time. So they would be at another one. So they would be work with me and Tawna. We would train them.
They'd spend the night at our house every weekend.
They would every weekend. They would
spend the whole weekend.
Spend the night Friday night.
In our 300 square foot place.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In the tiny house.
In the tiny house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
On the couch.
I can't even believe it.
So on the couch, they would sleep on the couch when we would go in the bedroom or upstairs in the loft.
Yeah.
So they would spend the night there, and then they would help us prep for the markets the day before. So they've been involved since the beginning, so they're one of our OGs.
Now Antonio has his own place, Flora Blooms. He's a flower farmer, organic flower farmer. Yeah.
Oh.
He's if you ever go to the farmers market, you'll see him right next to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's the flower farmer with his girlfriend. Right?
He and Nicole, Antonio and Nicole.
And his flower farm is actually at our block facility where we do our mushroom production.
Okay.
We got him a piece of land because we rented that farm. So we got him a little acre that he could grow flowers on.
That's
so
amazing.
Now he rents from the owner for the flowers. But we got him in there so he'd be near us and we could keep an eye on him. If he has any problems, we're right there. So he's been doing good, and now he's expanding. And like I said, but we started off just doing farmers market. Yeah. So we were what we call market farmers. So we only grew food and market stuff for farmers markets. Okay. So we weren't really selling to restaurants. We weren't doing anything else other than doing 4 to 5 farmers markets a weekend.
One time we were up to 6.
6.
Wow.
It was.
But that's all our income was made on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then if it rained, we were in trouble.
Oh my gosh. That's when we realized we really had to pivot from that.
And then what did you decide to do?
So we started increasing our products, like product added value. We started working on, different elixirs, different things like that. And also, our tinctures and
extracts.
So that we could sell them online and have another something coming in because, farming is a challenging.
We didn't really pivot too much. We still are doing.
Oh, we'll always. Yeah.
We're still doing the markets.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll always be.
It's our community. I mean, we like to reach out to.
Every time we want to quit the markets, we go to a market and I'm just like,
we always say one more year.
Every time we want to quit, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sitting in a market and then we have a customer come up and go, thank you so much for what you do. If it wasn't for you, I only come here just because of your booth. It's the only reason why I wake up in the morning to come into your place to get your stuff because it saved my life. And I'm just like, damn it, lady. Yeah. I was out the door and now you got me.
She had our house bugged. She knew we were thinking of pivoting away from
every time I get that doubt, somebody says something like that. I'm like, damn it, this is why we do this.
Yeah,
this
it is.
Why we do this.
Yeah,
but you are you did not pivot, but you added retreat.
We added,
but that
was our original.
But that
goal.
You need so much money to do that. I mean, I can't even tell you how much money we spent doing this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
It wasn't from radishes.
It wasn't from radishes. It was definitely.
It was Joseph and his.
It was
affinity towards cryptocurrency. The whole thing's cryptocurrency. He saved us. If it wasn't for him and his cryptocurrency,
and we're about to explode again right now, guys. Just so you know, buy crypto. Right now, you don't have much time. Hurry up.
Yeah.
So in the next 3 to 4 months, and today the date is what? July?
The 16th, I think, right? Yeah.
So I would say by October, November, we're going to hit the peak of the crypto market, and then we're going to come crashing down in 2016. 2026 is going to be, big correction.
I mean, who knew we were going to get crypto tips today?
If you bring Joseph in, you're getting crypto tips.
Yeah.
If you talk to Joseph, you are getting crypto tips.
That's so funny. So my husband did it for a little while too.
Yeah.
And he was like watching some guy and there was like
YouTuber.
techno blaring. And I'm like, what?
Let me guess. Alex Becker.
You know what? I don't
Blonde
know.
hair, blonde guy with glasses, muscular.
Remember, because I was so like put off by it. I'm like,
It's definitely him.
on here.
It's definitely Alex Becker because he brings comedic action to it, which is hilarious.
Okay. Well, he loved it. I was like, what? Like, anyway, the crypto.
Yeah. I mean,
So crypto was something that, I saw a bunch of people. I got in at 2017
Mm-hmm.
and I caught the tail end of the last bull run and I got dumped on.
Mm.
So basically I bought the top and then got crushed. And I was like, oh, and everyone's like, you idiot.
that was a tough year for us.
Yeah, because I was promoting it so much at that
Yeah.
time and people were like, let's see what happens. So I just kept quiet and and in the bear market from the 2018 to 2017, 18 to 2020, 21,
Mm-hmm.
I was buying. Every time we would go to a farmer's market, we'd come back, I'd put a little bit of money aside and I'd buy some crypto. And then every single market, I would put a little bit aside, pull some triggers every single week. And then, over 2-3 years, it wasn't much.
No, we just lived very, very, very minimally.
We didn't have a lot of money.
It was rough.
It was tough. We were living weekend to weekend to weekend to weekend.
But he knew that this was going to work. He just knew it.
I saw so many people become millionaires.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing I did. They just got in 2 months before me.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the only difference. They bought
the
the same thing.
timing of it.
The timing.
Yeah.
They bought the same exact thing I did. They just bought it 2 months before.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well, now I know which coins are going to be the ones that pop. I had a pretty good idea. I was studying a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to buy this coin. And when it's time, it's going to explode. So I was buying Cardano, which is ADA.
See, I know nothing about it.
Well, there's a coin. Anyone knows crypto will know that.
Yeah.
It's a top 10 coin. We were buying that when most people didn't know what it was. We were buying it mostly between 2 and 8 cents. And it went within 6 months, it went from 2 cents to $3.
Wow.
In like 6 months.
Wow.
So if you caught that spike, I mean, obviously it's almost impossible to catch the bottom and the top, but
yeah.
If you even catch a little piece of that, you're making, you're talking 150 times your investment.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. If you put $1,000 in, you're making 150 grand.
Yeah.
You sell at the right time. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
There's no financial instrument in the planet that can give you 150 times your return in 6 months to a year. Nothing.
Yeah.
If you make a 10% return, you're a genius in the regular stock market. So it's
you're lighting up with the finances. This is
still his sweet spot.
Your previous life.
Well, it's actually not, because crypto is not under traditional finance. Mm-hmm. It will eventually be like that. Mm-hmm. But we were the renegades. People in 2016, 2017, they were the black sheep. They were the ones that, you what are you doing? You're gonna, making fun of people for buying it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the internet. People go, you buy internet, that's for computer nerds. Mm-hmm. It's not going to ever be adopted. And look at it now. You can't function without internet.
Yeah.
She could barely leave the house without GPS. So.
Oh no, I didn't leave the house. Barely. I didn't leave the house without GPS.
There was no GPS when we first met. There was no.
No,
there was.
She couldn't go very far.
Me not leaving anywhere. I was like, I just can't go.
She took a walk in our neighborhood with my dad, and they were lost for 4 hours. I was like, how do you get lost in our own neighborhood?
My defense, I go, I think it's just up here. His dad was like, oh. His dad was very dramatic, and he was like, oh, shit.
He came back 3 hours. Later. Goes, your wife's trying to kill me.
To my defense, we hadn't lived there more than a couple years? A year?
There's no defense on that one.
And all the houses look the same. All the houses look the same. Every house looks exactly the same. I know what my house looks like because I wasn't supposed to paint the front door red in the community, but I did.
Oh, red.
And so I had a big red door, and it was a dark house, which was very shunned upon. But it was very recognizable, but every other house looked identical.
Yeah.
I had no idea where I was.
Your way back.
HOAs.
It was wild. Yeah, I did. I took them for extremely long.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But yes, GPS changed my life.
What is the future of the farm? Where's the goal? Where are you wanting to head with that?
So, obviously we've put our dues in as farmers, and we're still going to probably always farm it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And at least have one or two, I'd say at least 2 farmers markets per weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're getting a little bit older. It's, it's taxing on me to get up at, every weekend and do farmers, for 10 years, I've been doing farmers markets at Delray almost every weekend for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, my friends are like, hey man, when are we going to go hang out? When are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, I can, it's just like, we're married to our farm.
I mean, that's been, nonstop.
So,
it's been
like that since
challenging with our time.
It's a labor of love, for sure.
It is.
Well, at the same time, like you have to remember to live a little too. And it's not, even though I do enjoy it, I love creating and I love creating the farm. Like, when I look back at some of those pictures, I was looking the other day, and so like how bare and barren the farm was, or how like raw it was, and how it was nothing. And we converted it into what you see now. And it really, like, I'm just like, okay, this makes it all worthwhile. Yeah. Like, it's like we sacrifice, but it, you don't usually get something so special without a little bit of sacrifice.
True.
And, it's just what we were willing to do to get what we wanted. Whereas most people were waiting for things to fall in their lap, or they just play it safe and they stay in a 9-to-5 for the rest of their life.
We definitely don't play life safe.
No.
Yeah. We definitely haven't between the two of us.
And that's why our, we were just grateful to have another chance at life. And that's why, Tawna came up with the name of Gratitude Garden for the farm, because we were just grateful for another opportunity. And we wanted to, live with gratitude and actually help other people heal themselves and, discover their wellness, journey. So the retreats were, we always wanted to do the retreats. But then
back
we got
in 2010.
Before we started the farm, that's what we actually wanted to do. But you need money to be able to create a retreat center. You can't just, people aren't going to, you have to create something that someone would want to come to, that would want to come learn. So we had the farm first, which was our heartbeat, which is the farm itself. It's a real working, living farm, right? Yeah. And then we created a retreat center around it. So now you get the farm doing its thing, and then you have people around it, learning, eating farm to table foods. We're teaching agricultural classes. I do gardening classes, mushroom growing classes, microgreen classes. Tawna teaches a botanical medicine class where you can make all kinds of things out of plants and stuff like that. Teaches different techniques, which is a favorite at the retreat. It's a really great class, and she teaches them all that, and then they can actually make it there and they take it home with them. So they actually make like their own kind of custom tincture that they take home. And they're super excited about it because they have to shake it every day. It's like,
it's like crafts for adults.
Yeah.
It's like a living thing. Now, do you only do the classes as in conjunction with the retreat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
as of right now.
Doing like a day event or something like that,
But
we're contemplating.
Our goal isn't necessarily to do that because we want to be booked out throughout the season. So if we're booked out through the season, then we're not going to have a chance to do a daytime weekend, a day activity, because they're usually booked over the weekend.
I know, because I was asking you about trying to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, we would. It's just usually in the summertime where we have openings because it's a lot hotter. So most retreats are looking, between October and May. Where it's the sweet spot for the retreat. So we're pretty,
it is hot right now.
Yeah, we're pretty busy, but we have. All of our geodesic domes have air conditioning in them. They have dip pools, like little swimming pools with reverse osmosis water, no chemicals in there. We have outside showers in there. We also have a shared bathroom area where we have 5 bathrooms, private bathrooms where people come, they're close to the domes. They just walk there and they have their shower and bathroom. Some of the further domes will have composting toilets if it's 2-3 in the morning. And someone doesn't want to walk to the bathroom, they have a little composting toilet they can use in case of emergencies.
Yeah.
So there's just like little things that we learn as we go along of what would make people's experience better.
Yeah.
Every single retreat we have, we ask customers, hey, here's a little note. Why don't you just fill it out? Let us know what you loved about the place and if there was anything that you would change or, so every single retreat, whether it's ours or someone else's, we always try to find out like little things that we miss.
Yeah.
We can't catch everything.
Right. Of
we
course.
don't know.
Yeah.
So then they tell us these things like, that's a genius idea. Oh, that's a great idea. That's good. And then we implement them, So it's important to see because, we've stepped in the domes here and there, but we haven't stepped in every single dome.
I slept in there one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really know every single dome, every nook and cranny, every little thing that might happen, or maybe there's a noise or I don't know. So we don't know. So we get feedback from the customers.
Yeah.
And it's great. And, so we've been customizing our retreats basically based off, our feedback and then tweaking them slightly in order to make them work. So like we packed our first retreat that we did. We packed it so tight people didn't even have time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
they had like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. They had everything, and they're like, "Listen, we had an amazing time and we learned so much. It was great, but man, we would have loved to enjoy the pools a little bit.
Yeah.
We had and we didn't want to not come to the class because we were interested in the class, but we wish we had like an hour break here or there. So we said, okay, grant. So check, give them more free time. And that's a common mistake that everybody does.
Yeah,
during the retreat.
Because you want to give them the bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you paid to be here for 3 days. We want to make sure you have so many things to do. Like, yeah, but one of the things that we came here to do was relax.
Relax. And that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I've been on a handful of retreats and it's like, it is hard to strike that perfect balance, but you do want some of that downtime.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're getting better with that. And then we always try to coach any of our hosts that come in because we don't just do retreats for ourselves. What we specialize in is we work with other hosts, like mostly yoga teachers, women's groups, health retreats,
wellness,
anything in the health and wellness space. We have a medical medium style retreat, Anthony Williams, medical medium. Yeah. So we have a group that come, they did 2 week-long retreats.
Wow.
Where they have people fly in from all over the country. And they come and do a medical medium style retreat.
Yeah.
Where it's all the same foods and the knowledge, and they teach it and they do lectures, and we have a TV that they lecture from. There's it's partial lectures too, so it's lots of classwork.
Yeah.
So we customized a space for them. We built an area for them where they could have a classroom with a TV and a pointer, so he can do PowerPoint presentations, stuff like that. So it's not just a retreat center; it's also an educational center too. So you can have all kinds of different facilitators come through. So it's not just a yoga retreat. It seems to be that seems to be a really popular. It hits all the sweet spots for yoga teachers, because most yoga retreats are doing it outside of the country. They have to go to Bali. They have to go to Mexico. They got to go to, so it's like,
God forbid someone's late for their flight or it throws everything off.
Costs money. Then they have to travel and then they have to get groped at the airport. Like, the people don't want to actually go through all that thing. Some people don't mind it. I don't like it because I always get groped. I definitely get groped.
Joseph.
I'm just saying.
It's true.
I was in a line one time and there was an Irish guy next to me and we were queuing. And I was like, I looked at the guy and I said, "Do you see how I look?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You see how you look?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I bet you anything. I bet you $20. They pull me out of line and I get randomly checked." And he's like, "No way." I was like, "I get randomly checked at every airport I ever go." He's like, "No way." Sure enough, he pulls me out of line. I look at him like,
"You've been randomly selected." It's like, wow. It's
like so
random.
Dark. It's like,
he's always randomly selected. It's
ridiculous.
Always. We're just sitting there.
Should I pay the lottery?
"Excuse me, sir.
Should I pay the lottery?
We need to search you." He's like,
right?
It never fails.
"Here we go."
Never fails.
That is
No, it is.
So where was I? I lost my train of thought now. Oh, yes. I was talking about getting groped at airports. So so a lot of people don't want to necessarily travel. And there's a lot of yoga teachers that have clients that don't want to travel.
Yeah.
But they want to go to the retreat, but they don't want to travel. They'd rather do a local retreat for only 3 days where they don't have to be too far away from their kids. They're right there. If anything happens, they're right there. They don't want to take a whole week off or 10 days off or 2 days to travel to Bali, 2 days to travel back. It's already 4 days. And then you haven't even rested, and you need time to recoup after the traveling. So it's like, what kind of downtime are you really getting, you know? So ours is a perfect little niche for that. We've got a beautiful little spot, especially for yoga places. I mean, they go to the places in Costa Rica. There's like, you know, tarantulas on the wall. They don't have proper toilets. You know, they have to like, you know, put sand on their poop. Like, it's like they don't have a proper. So I'm just saying. I mean, I've been to yoga retreats.
Delicate plumbing.
I'm just saying,
very delicate plumbing.
Yeah.
So for them, when they come to our place, it's like the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
You know, so for them, for what we do, we're very high end for what we do. For a glamping retreat, it's super high end.
Yeah.
Because everything is so many amenities that you don't feel like it's camping, but it's not really camping. I mean, it's like you got air conditioning.
No, it was so nice. Actually, the domes in the middle of June, I guess I was there.
Cool. Yeah.
Or, well, maybe it was July. Anyway, super cool out there. I was surprised because you think like the dome is going to let in so much sunshine and it's going to be warm.
It actually does, but we have oversized ACs in all of them. Yeah. So because it is a tent, it's not insulated. So we have to go higher AC. So we have 80,000 BTUs of AC in each one. And we keep them running all year round. We lower it in the summer.
Or raise it.
Because, we raise the temperature in the summer, but because there's no one in there, but it keeps everything, we have a Valera air purifier in there that kills any mold or bacteria or anything like that. So it's very fresh smelling in there. So you never have that smell of like mildew or anything like that.
You're very thoughtful, very intentional about it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think of it from a customer's point of view, and they're coming to an organic farm. They don't want to be in a mildew.
No,
tent.
Neither do we. We don't want mildew.
We would hate that. So
everything in there we use in our house. Yeah. Everything in those domes are in there because we use them in our house and we believe in those things.
Yeah, and it's a small dome, and we have a powerful air purifier in each dome. And when you walk into any dome, take a nice deep breath. It's so like
it feels good.
So nice, like it's clean, fresh. It's not like it doesn't feel like you're in a tent.
Completely agree.
Yeah, so
I've been there, so
so
we're gonna have to do another episode because there's like so much to talk about, you guys. But we do need to wrap up.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to leave? This will be good. What do you guys want to leave us with today about the farm, about farming, about anything, goals for the future?
Yeah. I mean, from my point of view, it's like, this has been over a 10-year journey right now. And we finally got to the point with what we were envisioning from day one, which was to create a space where people can heal. And now it doesn't have to be necessarily me and Tawna holding their hands, because that can be very traumatic for me if people, like especially cancer patients, if they don't make it or something, I get too attached to the outcome. But now we're starting to create space where other people that have journeys and that are hosts that want to heal people. So now we've opened up space for all these different people to come through here. So now there's all kinds of different healing on so many different levels that we're not necessarily running. We're involved to some point, but they're the ones running their retreat. We're just supporting them. And it's just wonderful to see all the people coming through here that are healing through other people too. But we're providing the space, we're providing the atmosphere on that, and it makes us feel really good to see that. So I think that honestly would be, our calling, because we knew we were going down we knew we were going down the right path. We just didn't know exactly what it was or why we were meant to do this. Like, why are we doing it? People go, why are you doing this? Like, and it's just like it's just an overwhelming desire to move in this direction. Yeah. And we've been going down that direction the whole time. And it's finally starting to show itself. How it's all unfolding to this point. Like, I never could see how we get to this point. I just knew we were going to get here. Yeah. Just couldn't really see the journey per se. Yeah. That was the fun part, is the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to enjoy it all along the way, but that is really special that you guys have a a calling together
Yes.
and this shared vision and goal, because that doesn't come along, all the time.
I don't think we could have done it without each other. There's no way I could move forward with this such a big project if I didn't have Tawna, by my side. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Why would we want to?
No, I wouldn't do it
without each other.
The main reason we were doing it, the main reason I wanted to do it was a lot for her, because I knew where we are right now, she would love where we are right now.
Yeah.
Maybe not the whole process.
Yeah.
Because the process was hard. Right now,
maybe not the
right
full
now,
process.
Right now where we are, it's more up her alley.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I was always into the medicinals, and that was our original goal, were medicinals. And we're going back into that path. And for me, that's my sweet spot.
She was doing that prior. She was doing that prior. Yeah. She would make all this concoctions out of stuff and herbs, and just like, what the hell is this? And then she'd be like, try it. And it was like, so like, she would always make these really cool concoctions. And then when we actually had a farm and we started growing all these unique turmerics and stuff, like rare turmerics, then all of a sudden now she's making real powerful medicine.
Yeah. I think I saw those things. Yeah. Some of that.
The black turmeric and the Thai. Yeah. Yeah. So we have some very rare stuff. And then mushrooms, we have medicinal mushrooms no one else could get, like the lion's mane, the reishi, the turkey tails. We were growing them and then we're extracting them. So we had all these cool stuff that you couldn't get anywhere, and we were actually making products out of them. And Tawna is the one that makes all those products, and now she teaches how to do that. And we're constantly making new and new products. So next season we'll have a lot more. We'll have like beef jerky,
some culinary stuff. Yeah.
So what you're gonna see coming out here soon next season will be lion's mane crab cakes, but frozen.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make them and then freeze them so that because people are lazy, they don't know how to make them.
That's me.
So
that's why we came out with turmeric. The elixirs is because
they want it,
but they don't want to dirty their kitchen, or they just want something fast and easy. And so we're just trying to get more products.
So how can people connect with you guys to find out where you are market wise, to book a retreat? Like, give us all the information.
So we have a website, gratitudegardenfarm.com.
Okay.
And then we have
Instagram.
A sun logo.
So
it's a sun logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have at Gratitude Garden Farm on Insta and Facebook. And then we're also at, I believe, 4 farmers markets every weekend during season. So we're at downtown West Palm Beach Market on Saturdays. We're also at downtown Delray Farmers Market. It's on Atlantic Avenue, right by all the restaurants. Sorry, you can't miss it. And then we're at Palm Beach Gardens on Sunday. And we're also at Swank Market on Saturday, which is right next to. So we do 3 markets on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. So we're crazy.
Yeah.
So we're at 3 places at once on Saturday.
I'm going to come find you guys.
You'll find us. If you can't find us Saturday, that means you locked yourself in your house. Yeah. You can find us. So
we'll hear Joseph talking from across the way.
You're going to hear me. Yeah.
You'll definitely hear that.
Yeah.
Tawna and Joseph, thank you so much for being here today. Please come back. I feel like there's more to discuss.
Wait.
We'll go down the rabbit hole.
I didn't take you guys too deep.
No.
That was easy. It's a 101.
A little pinky toe in there.
Next time.
But buy crypto, hurry up. Time is running out.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of The Cinnamon Effect, and we'll see you next time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Cinnamon Effect. If you enjoyed our time together, don't forget to hit that follow button on your podcast app and sprinkle a little love by leaving us a 5-star rating and a quick review. Your support means the world to me. For even more goodness, check out the show notes where you'll find links to some of my favorite products. And don't forget to visit thecinnamoneffect.com to connect with me directly or to grab your TCE Gratitude Journal, your next step towards a more grateful life. I can't wait to spice things up with you again next time. Stay vibrant, stay inspired, and remember to add a little cinnamon to your life every day.